India's goods trade deficit narrowed to a 5-month low for the month of September 2024, reflecting both an uptick in exports compared to the previous year and a notable fall in imports. According to data from the Commerce Ministry, the trade deficit stood at $20.78 billion in September, down from $29.65 billion in August. This change suggests a momentary relief in trade dynamics, especially given the consensus among economists who had anticipated a deficit closer to $25 billion. Merchandise exports saw a marginal rise, reaching $34.5 billion in September compared to $34.4 billion in the same month last year. However, this represented a slight decline from $34.7 billion in August. The recent months have shown a downward trend in exports, which have fluctuated from $38.1 billion in May to $33.9 billion in July. This volatility highlights the fragile nature of global demand. India's Commerce Secretary Sunil Barthwal stated that despite these challenges, Indian exports remain resilient. He emphasized the importance of engineering goods, which now comprise nearly a quarter of total exports. Growth has also been observed in sectors like organic and inorganic chemicals, pharmaceuticals, and ready-made garments. On the import side, merchandise imports fell to $54.3 billion in September, marking a decline from $64.3 billion in August, though slightly up from $54.5 billion in the same month last year. This drop indicates weakening domestic demand and reflects variability in import trends over the recent months. Services exports, meanwhile, rose to over $30.5 billion in September, up from just about $28.5 billion a year ago, while services imports also increased to over $16.3 billion. The combined value of merchandise and services exports was at $65.2 billion, slightly lower than in the month of August, but higher than in July. However, the overall trade deficit, including services, widened to about $6.5 billion in September from a little over $6.2 billion last year. Indian exports are being impacted by global challenges, including slowing economic growth, geopolitical tensions in regions like West Asia and Ukraine, and trade disruptions. The World Trade Organization has forecast a recovery in global trade for the year 2024, anticipating growth in trade volumes. However, the threat of geopolitical issues remains. Despite these headwinds, key sectors driving India's export performance include engineering goods, electronics, and pharmaceuticals, with major export destinations being the US, the UAE, and China. Overall, India is in a relatively strong position to navigate external challenges, aided by robust growth, high foreign exchange reserves, and various export promotion measures. However, continued geopolitical tensions and fluctuating oil prices remain concerns that could impact the performance of India's exports and the cost of India's imports.